compare with a neighbor while you do your warm-up. Go really quick. Again, it's okay to compare with somebody if you need to. Okay, class, if I have your attention up here real quick, let me tell you what our plan is for today. So today, our goal is to write and graph the equation of linear lines, and we are going to do that by discussing your exoslip that you did yesterday. We're going to do what's called a favorite no. And then we are also going to do a squad tutorial where you'll get to be in your squads to help review and practice the linear equations we've been solving. Okay? And then last, you're going to have another exit slip to show, hopefully, that you've improved your understanding. Okay? So that is our plan. So after today, what should you be able to do?
Write and graph the equation of a linear function.
Awesome. You guys are great. I love it. Okay, so we've been talking about why we need to know that. So talk to your neighbor and review, talk to your neighbor and refresh your memory on why we need to know that. So go ahead and talk to your neighbor now.
That is true.
Talk to your neighbors. Okay, does anyone want to volunteer for why we need to learn this? What are some of the things we've discussed? Who wants to volunteer? Yes, ma'am. Construction, yeah, we see it all the time in construction. Where else do we see linear lines? Yes. Engineering. Nice. Yes. Definitely our math class. That is true, yes. And what? Design, yeah. And design can be like clothing, it could be designing architecture, it could be graphic designs for video games. Definitely see linear lines there. Yes? Military, yes. Okay, anyone else have an idea that you want to share? Yes?
Driving.
Driving, yeah. Where do you see it with driving? Our roads. Do we have roads that are parallel?
Yes.
Do we have roads that are perpendicular and intersect?
Yeah.
Yes, all the time. So with our roads. That is awesome. Good job, you guys. Well done. So let's review with your warm-up. So the idea with your warm-up is that you will will be able to use these formulas that are on your warm-up and refer to them when you do your squad tutorial. So that way you have your formulas right there. Okay? So the goal is for you to refer to this during your tutorial. So, let me get my pen going. Now I'll record your stuff. Okay, so the first formula that we're talking about here is the slope formula. Does anyone want to volunteer for the slope formula? Yes. Yeah, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, you get to call on someone. Call on someone for slope-intercept form. Oh, Jason, yes. Okay, Jason, what is the slope-intercept form?
Y.
And what did you decide were the letters to represent slope?
M.
And what was the intercept?
E.
Nice. Okay, you can go ahead and call on somebody now.
Tyler.
Okay. So Tyler, what did you write for point slope form?
Y minus y1 equals x minus y1.
Nice, good job. And what did you say represented the M? Slope, nice. And what did you say was the x1 and y1?
Coordinate points.
It is a point, so it's your given point. Okay, now class as a whole, what do we have to do with that point that's special with point slope form?
Change the sign.
Yeah, you have to change the sign. Nice. Okay, Tyler, you can pick somebody. Okay, so Jeremy, in this problem, what did you say was the parallel slope?
Y equals 3x plus 7.
Oh, so you found a whole equation? That was awesome. That was awesome. What's just the slope? What's just the parallel slope? Yeah, that is great. Proud of you for going above and beyond. Well done. Okay, so remember, parallel slopes are exactly the same. Okay, Jeremy, call on somebody. Okay, Maddie, what would be the perpendicular slope to a 3?
Negative 1/3.
-1/3. So when we're talking about perpendicular slopes, what's the phrase that we have to do with them? What's that phrase? Opposite reciprocal. So the opposite means one has to be positive, one has to be negative, and then they have to be the flip of each other for the reciprocal. Nice. Nice. Okay, so go ahead and pick someone.
Abaya.
Okay, Maya, what is the parallel slope in this point slope form?
Negative 4/4.
-4/5. And do you feel comfortable enough telling me what the perpendicular one is? 5/4. Okay, so class, is one positive and one negative?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they the reciprocal of each other?
Yes.
Oh, you guys are fabulous. Look at this. Awesome. Big smile face. Okay, well done. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, keep those out because I want you to refer to them when you do your squad tutorial. It has all those formulas you need to know. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is we are going to talk about your exit slips from yesterday. So yesterday you guys had to write and graph a perpendicular line, and so there are a few common errors that I want to just discuss with you guys. So we're going to do it with a favorite note. So I'm going to show you up on the board a problem, and I want you to silently look at it and look for the error. And when you think you know the error, just raise your hand. Don't shout it out. Just raise up your hand if you think you see what the error is. Okay? Here is our problem. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, so here was the problem from yesterday. Silently look at it. Okay. Look at the work. When you think you figured out the error, just kind of raise your hand. But don't shout it out, just raise your hand. Look at the problem. Okay, what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you talk to a neighbor if you're not sure what the error is, because then I'm gonna randomly call on someone out of my bucket, so all your names are in here, okay? So talk to a neighbor, decide what the error is, in case you're not sure.
Doug is panic.
Not in a good mood.
It's the irritating.
They're gonna hear that.
Okay guys, let's see what you think. Okay, so I'm gonna call a name out of my bucket. My little top here. Okay. Okay, so we have Parker. What was the error, Parker? What did you guys talk about? And why should it be a 5 instead of a 1? What caused that? Awesome. So if you didn't hear what Parker said, Parker was saying that this should be a 5, not a 1. And the reason why is because he said that the -1/4 times the -8 should have been a +2. Do you think that's an easy mistake that some of us could make? Yeah, we get caught up solving and we distribute so quickly that we forget that 2 negatives make a what? Positive, nice. So this would be a +2, which would make it 5. Nice, you guys. So looking at that, just through the other end, there's a lot that's correct about this problem. Would anyone like to volunteer what's done correctly? Well, what is something? Yes, go ahead. Yeah, that was awesome. So what Katie said was that 4 is our slope. To make it perpendicular, she said that they did a good job of doing the opposite reciprocal by making this one negative. And if you flip 4, you get 1/4. Did they also insert the points correctly in the point slope form? Did they change their signs? Yes, nice. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the correct answer up here for you now. Okay, so here's the correct answer at the correct work. I'm going to pass back your exit slips to you, and I want you to just jot some notes down there. There's some feedback from me on there. I circled some parts of your process that maybe weren't quite correct, so you can kind of focus on that. So take that feedback, take this feedback that's up here, write some notes down on your exit slip, because you're going to be taking another exit slip that's going to be like this. It'll just have a different equation and a different point. So I want you to learn from your mistakes, that way you understand it better and can do it better the next time we solve. Okay, so take some notes on it and refer to the feedback that I gave you. So pass this out. Ryan? Thank you, that's your last one, right? Okay. Yes.
I already ate some. I have already ate my entire lunch. Do we need to? No.
Oh, wait. It's not you.
Grilled chicken. Oh, I made it. I mean, I won't eat it, right?
Sorry. I know, psych. Maya? I know. Allison? Jason, here's yours. Ethan's here's yours. Okay. Okay, everyone, so take some notes from what you see up here and write it on your exit slip. So that way you have some feedback for how to do it correctly. So we are going to be doing this again. So the goal is to improve. Do you have a question?
I don't know what this says. It says write something.
Okay, I'll come look. Oh, I said write process. We had our process. I just didn't write. Are there other questions? Okay, so everyone should be taking a minute, just jotting some notes down for yourself, so that way you can refer to it, and then we're going to move on to our squad tutorial. Okay. You're going to get XP, which some of you need.
I know we're with you guys.
Okay guys, let's talk about your squad tutorial. Hello sir, thank you for joining us. Awesome. Okay, here we go. For your squad tutorial, you will be earning XP. It's on our list. Okay? In order to earn XP, this is what I expect. 1, you need to follow the directions. Okay? 2, you need to be actively participating. I'm going to be walking around and monitoring your conversations, and I'm also going to be writing down what I hear. So make sure that you're being on task, that you're following the directions, and that you're actively participating with your squads. Okay? So, this is what's going to happen. In a few minutes, we'll get into our squads, but I want to tell you what you're going to get beforehand. So, you will have the opportunity to use the whiteboard and the pen and eraser. When using the whiteboard, please be respectful. Don't be drawing a bunch of pictures. Just use the whiteboard for the activity. Okay? We're trying to save the ink so that way we have ink enough to do the activity. Okay? So, you're going to get a few papers. Each of you is going to get a tutorial worksheet that looks like this. Okay? On this tutorial worksheet, you are going to, each person will get a yellow slip of paper that has a problem on it. Okay, so you're going to divvy them up in your squad, and then for the first 5 minutes, you are just going to write how to solve that problem. So you're just going to solve it. After you're done, then you're going to go around and each take turns explaining out loud. Okay, that's the key thing I'm going to be looking for. It's not about copying off of each other. It's about saying it out loud and describing what you're doing for each step in the solving process. You can use the whiteboard if you want. You don't have to. But the goal, again, is not to just pass around your paper and have people copy. The goal is you presenting and saying, this is what you do first, this is what you do second, this is what you do third. Okay? So you need to say it out loud, because that's what I'm going to be looking for. That's what's going to get you the XP. Okay? Now, let's say you get this problem, and you're like, I don't know how to solve that. Well, one thing you can do is you can refer to your notes that we've done the last few days. So these I highlighted up here, these are the notes you would need. 2, you have your squad members. You can ask for help. It's okay to ask your squad, how do you solve this problem if you need a little help. And then 3rd, what I did for you is I made a rubric for how to solve linear problems. So this rubric is for you to kind of self-assess yourself, seeing if there's some guiding questions about yes or no. Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? So if you get stuck, look at this blue sheet, because it has some questions that might trigger, oh yeah, I need to use that formula. Okay, so use this to self-assess yourself. Okay, so that is our plan, is to teach each other how to solve these problems. Does anyone have a question on the directions I just said? Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to quickly and efficiently get into squads, send one person over to the counter to get your supplies. Go ahead and go. You said 3, right?
Yeah. I'm supposed to. We never,
I'm using yours. I'm using yours. Just grab one whiteboard. And then we'll decide on our I'm using your squad. Hey, come you need papers. Oh, you just needed that? Okay.
Oh, you got the papers?
so then just
Why is mine
Yeah, okay. We can't do that. Maybe towards the end. Okay, I'll let you know.
What's up, squad?
How many are you having a group? Okay. So pick grab one of each. Use these guys to help you.
yeah, we can.
How about you guys support if you're going to so kind of push it so you're in the group.
So do your problems.
Okay, so everyone should have their supplies and everyone should have one problem. So your goal right now is to just take some time, solve your problem right on that first blank area on the tutorial worksheet. If you get stuck, remember you can use your notes, you can use your squad members, and you can use these blue forms. These blue forms have guided questions to help you assess if you're missing certain parts of the process. Okay, I'm going to be coming around and monitoring your conversation. So after you guys have solved your problem, your goal is to then verbalize how to solve it to your other squad members. Okay, so go ahead and go. I will come around.
I think you just have to write them.
You're gonna explain how to use it and everything.
So here, I'm gonna push this a little bit more into the spot. But I need you to be like.
On the road or on the
Oh, oh.
What do you need? Are you all set? Okay, well, they had, make sure. What number are you missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 4, and there's only 3 of us. What's your missing?
Oh, wait.
Okay, remember, you're getting graded on following directions, staying on task, and actively participating. So that's okay. Here, we'll do 3 for right now, and then we'll see if you have enough time to get together, okay?
I had number 2. I just need a copy.
I was writing everyone's homework.
Almost there.
I have vertical and horizontal.
By the 3rd time, I'm gonna use the whiteboard and I'll help you. Okay, so parallel to right? So y equals 4 x minus 3. Okay, so we have to go through the point 110. So how do you graph both equations to show that, okay, so we gotta solve for the new point. So you're gonna put it in the point intercept right now, point slope, so that's y minus 10, right, that's y. Right, just write y. Where's the? Yeah. So 10, because that's positive, so you gotta flip it, which equals the slope, which is still 4, because it doesn't change. So then you have 4 times x minus 1 equals negative. Because that was a positive, and then you gotta flip the sign. And then you just solve for it to flip. So then you have y minus 10 equals 4x minus 4. I didn't math right. Plus 10 plus 10. Why can't I do this? No, it's negative.
So, positive points.
Y is 4x plus 6 equation. And then you just add these two together.
So it'd be like,
Right, so
you
you
could use either one.
3.
Well, yeah, I'm just which one do you guys want?
I say first one.
And then you grab the second one, which goes up 1, 2, 3, 6, and then up 1, 2, 3.
Plus 2.
Distribute y
All you have to do is divide it by 5. You don't have to forget it. It's a negative because it's a positive one. Okay, yeah, so then it would just be a positive. And then you would just negative, but a positive divided by a negative is a positive.
So y plus 2 equals
Oh, yeah, no, so then it would be a negative. Negative. You're dividing negative 15 by a positive 5, so it's negative. And then you add
do we
Are you guys presenting your problem to each other?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Now, if we subtract this,
I'll help. I'll come in during walker's lunch.
so you guys need to start sharing out loud, like how you become.
Stop.
How's this off?
Write your name up there. Write your name up. Stop.
So we need to be on task, okay, honey? So, my understanding is, we got, who's presenting here? So, we should start being sharing out loud. So, if your stuff, you need extra stuff. I think they do know, and
Really random. My knees lock up all the time. So my one knee locks up.
How do I
I know that. 3 times raise and picture action.
are you guys sharing out loud?
And I can make it go nuts.
Well, you know what? That's not
married, am I right? And then there's something wrong. I'm like, why can't I do it? Why can't I flip it here? It is. Okay. Yeah. Here, write it on the.
So what is your question?
I did it again and it was still wrong.
Okay, so let's talk out. What does your problem say to do?
Explain how to write the equation of a line in point and slope form that passes the points -2, 3, and through -3.
Oh, so do you have your equation in the correct form? What form did it want you to have it in?
Oh, alright. We did it.
So what's going to be your equation?
Y plus 1 equals 4. X plus 6.
Awesome. Okay, graph that there. There you go. Good job. And then trade and switch.
Did I explain this to him right? Because he got the one it was just like the 2 points on the vertical and horizontal line.
So what did you say for the vertical and horizontal line?
I said you just have to like, for like x, you just go to 3.
Figured out what we did
And then
wrong.
you draw the
Okay.
side of y.
Yep,
For
that's
y,
good.
You go -5, draw the horizontal line.
Yes.
And then the x is undefined.
Yes.
Y is 0. Isn't it 0? Like the slope.
For the slope of the horizontal?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes. Yes, you explained that very well. Good job. Good job.
Mine was perpendicular.
And who's presenting now? Who's number 3? Okay. Go ahead and switch to the next person and start presenting.
Do other people's work?
Well, you're writing down what they say. Okay. So go ahead and present. Next person, go ahead and get started.
Were you doing yours? No, we're doing number 4. You want me to do mine first? Yeah. It's number 1. That's yours? What did I do? Oh, I did this one. That was today.
Write an equation in slope and intercept form that passes through points -5, 6, and 3, -10. I have to write a slope intercept or equation in slope intercept form that passes through points -5, 6, and 3, The equation I got was y equals -2/1 x minus 4.
Slope.
-5, 6, and 3, -10.
So we have to do it this way.
That's right.
That's how I plugged it in. You done, right? Okay, so let me get
Divided by 3 plus
oh, thank you.
minus the negative. And then you get negative. So we're doing slope intercept.
Wait. We're finding the slope.
I think first we have to find the slope.
Wait, what's that say? Okay.
He has to find the slope intercept form.
Okay.
I didn't graph the first I had right intercept to x minus 6. So I had to graph
And then what I do is since if it's already line y minus whatever the y is, negative 2 x.
So it's negative 60. So it's 2. Yeah. It's negative 1. Slope's negative 1. Because it was a negative 10. So that's x. So negative 2. So now we do the point slope form.
Have you done this math multiple 1, 2, 2, 3?
So 5.
In the point slope form. So I find the slope intercept form.
What's your name? And what's your name?
And down to, or you can go up to.
And the parallel one had to go through the point of 110.
Thank you.
Even the equation.
Okay. Imaginary graph, so y equals -2x minus 4.
So what are we supposed to
I should be a teacher. I did that very well. I should be. We got our equations, and we graphed our equations.
Oh, I'm just like so proud of yourself.
I am, and then we use the first part. Everybody get that?
I got it.
Okay, then we gotta erase it.
Moving on. Should we do mine?
Wait, you probably did. Because what I did is was
Oh wait, you need the original.
so what I did was so I'm trying to draw
Oh yeah, I did write that down. Wow.
for the x for the horizontal vertical it is x equals 3 and then for the horizontal it is y equals -5. And then for the vertical slope, I put that it's undefined since vertical slopes are undefined for their slope. And then for the horizontal slope, I put there's no slope. And then I had to explain if they were perpendicular. So for perpendicular, I put they were perpendicular and they're perpendicular because they cross at a 90 degree.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody get that?
Mine's not going to be flipped because the negative one is
Negative 1 minus 3 is
No. I think they're ridiculous. So, we still do the slope. Alright, so you know how it's already supposed to be. Wait, so don't we have to repeat what is negative? It's supposed to be
that's not right.
where's the
You can't map, obviously. I think we're down to AP. Alright, this way, dig it.
Wait, hold up. I didn't get to the numbers. So fish need is
So you start at -5.
How just divide AP?
And then
So I had to do the M slopes, I had to do -1 minus -3. Divided by -3 minus 3. Alright.
Wait, no. Okay, see, look, this is the y, this is the x. You did y and x together.
Now, what does that mean? Figure it out.
So it would be -1 minus 3 and minus -3 minus and minus 2. Minus
adding, so just adding to it. Oh yeah, I did. Essentially.
But we still get -4.
I know it is. Add me on the scrap. Multiple 1, 2, 3.
Wait, do you do both of the points?
Okay.
Yeah, so just
So make sure you're explaining it to each other. It's not about just copying, so make sure you explain it. Good job.
You put the 2 in the wrong place. The 2 is
And then 6 is y. So minus 6. The slope formula is now -2. So I put -2. And then since that's a negative,
I got y
since
equals 4
minus -5, I pressed it.
No, because it's a -2 and it's x minus a -2. So it's positive 2. No. It's supposed to be a positive.
You wrote the 2 in the wrong place.
Yeah, but the point is -2, 3 right here. Yeah. I get like no, because 4 times 2 is 8. Yeah, that's supposed to be 8. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, but then it's y minus 3 and you just leave it there and you add 3 to both sides. Alright, so we already knew y and then we're good to go.
Casey, right?
Don't.
Spell your
I did it backwards. Kayla. Does that make sense? So I went minus 4 over one side. Yeah. Yeah, Senior Gregory thinks my name is Kat.
Okay, class, if I give your attention up here real quick. So first of all, I heard really great conversations, and I have to say you guys were amazing today, so I'm very proud of you. Good job. What I need you to do, now listen to the directions before you move. So, we're almost done with the period, so what we're going to do is tomorrow morning when you come in, we will do that second exit slip that I mentioned about the perpendicular lines. So you can study the exit slip that you got back today, and hopefully from doing the tutorial, maybe you also practice some of those skills, so that tomorrow, hopefully we can show improvement in our understanding. And then, on the back of your exit slip tomorrow, I'm going to also have you guys just self-assess yourself about what you think you're understanding well and what you feel like you might need more help or instruction on. So we're going to do that tomorrow as well. So for cleanup, your tutorial papers, you need one person to collect them and put them on this black box up here. You also need one other person to bring me the supplies over at the counter. And I need my desks in beautiful rows, please. So go ahead and go.